Hey guys, I'm Gavin. I'm a third year student at the University of South Wales. I'm on the Applied Cybersecurity course. I'm just going to do a video for you today on one of the machines on HackTheBox, and the one we're going to be doing is called Nibbles. Okay, so this is HackTheBox here. If you've never seen it before, you do need to essentially hack your way in to HackTheBox. There's a number of guides online if you want to sign up. I signed up. I paid for membership, £10 a month. Definitely worth it. Highly recommend it. Okay, like I said, the machine we're doing today is Nibbles. Little penguin there shows you it's a Linux box and it gives you the IP address there. So I booted up the machine. It's ready for us to try and hack into. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do an mmap scan on the target. So we're going to do an mmap-sc-sv and the IP address, which is 10.10.10.75. If you have a look there, guys, what I've done, I always make a directory for the box I'm working on. Just give it the name of what you're working on and the IP address, because obviously you're going to need the IP address quite a lot, and I always forget it, so I've got it there so I don't forget it. Right, I'm going to make it verbose as well. So with the mmap, you've got -sc and -sv. What these do is run default scripts, so that's -sc, and try to enumerate any versions of any programs that are running with the -sv. You've got -vv on the end just to make it verbose. So it just chucks out a lot of information. Because you don't have verbose, sometimes it can take a while. It just sits there and you don't really know what it's doing. Okay, so that mmap scan is started. It's just running through it, as we can see there. So you've got a script starting. You know, there's an initial ping scan and it's just running through what it's found then. So at the moment, it's just discovered 2 ports. Port 22, SSH, and port 80, which is normally a web server. So on HTTP. So that's quite fast. That's finished for us now. So we just scroll up and then we can have a look at the ports that are open. Okay, first things first, we've got port 22. Like I said, it's SSH. Running OpenSSH version 7.2 P2, which I think is an old version. Look down to port 80 as well. And we got TCP port 80, which is open, which you normally find as a web server on HTTPS. The other one being HTTPS, which is on port 443. It tells you the web server that it's running. It's running Apache HTTP 2.418. And you can copy that and we can have a look on Firefox, or on Google, should I say. So let's get Firefox up and running. Okay, we can just paste that in there. Just get a bit more information about the web server that's running behind it. So when you put it in, first things first, it normally comes up with a list of the vulnerabilities. So you've got privilege escalation, a lot of different details which you could run through. What I normally do, let's close that down, is I run a program called Searchploit, which is built into Kali Linux. So you just type in Searchploit and the name of the program, which was Apache 2.418. So search that. Right, so what this is, what Searchploit is basically a command line tool to find any known vulnerabilities in the software. So you got Apache, quite an old version there. Okay. And what it tells you the path then of where the exploit is, if you can use it. It's a text giving you information about that. We're not actually going to use that, guys, because that I know I've looked at them. We don't need any of them. What I normally do is, right, so we got port 22, we got port 80. Easiest thing to look at is port 80. Fire up Firefox again. Let's get that back up. Fire up. And type in the IP address. 10.10.10.75. Okay, so we just got a blank page really. Hello world. Not much we can do, nothing to click on. First thing I normally do is view page source. So you got, someone's obviously made this. Hello world, and then done on line 16, /nibblblog directory, nothing interesting here. No, so there's nothing interesting here, but we've got a directory, /nibblblog. Let's have a look in there, shall we? Could be quite interesting. Paste and go. No, we don't want that. 10.10.10.75 /. Okay, so we've got something here. Nibbles, yum yum. Let's have a look. Let's click around and see if we can see anything or see if we can do anything. Nothing too exciting. Let's have a look at the page source on this. A bit more information here. What have we got? Can we see a version number? So we can't see a program version number here. Okay, but we've got a service running on a web browser, on a web server. So next thing you want to do then, we want to try and see if we can find any more directories such as Nibbleblog. Okay, so there's plenty of tools built in the Kali Linux for this. Let's move that up there. Try to make that bigger for you guys. Good one I use is called GoBuster. We're going into directory mode. So GoBuster is written in Golang, which is a programming language. And it's very good, multi-threaded command line tool for brute forcing basically directories. Okay, because there could be plenty on there. It could be, I don't know, blog or something maybe. No, nothing there. But there could be. But the easiest way to do it, instead of typing it in, is running through as many words as possible you can in the quickest time. So we're going to use GoBuster, which is a directory brute forcing tool, and we're using directory mode because we want to brute force the directories. Okay. To use GoBuster, put in directory mode, type U for the URL you're going to be hitting, which is http://10.10.10.75. And then the directory we've got to hit on, Nibbleblog. There might be subdirectories in here, so that's what we're going to look for. So you do -W then for your word list. Okay, so there's plenty of word lists built into Kali Linux. So you've got user, share. This is just the file path of the word list that are built in. Word lists and GoBuster. If you click double tab, it gives you a list of what is in that directory you're looking at. So you've got quite a few. Apache user enumeration. What we're looking for is directory list 2, 3. Well, one of these ones. You can use any. There's plenty online as well. What I usually use is this one, and then go from there. So just copy that selection, paste it in. Control-Shift-V because it's in the terminal. Oh, also there's a -X. So that's for extensions. So what I normally do on here, because there's sometimes juicy files lying around which ends in .txt or PHP, or we could put plenty on there, I suppose. I'll just stick with maybe XML actually. XML. We'll stick the extensions on there and we'll let it run and see if the kit comes back with anything. Okay. Oh, so straight away we got quite a few. Index.php, sitemap.php, content. Let's just have a look at a couple of these. Nibbleblog. Oh, admin.php. So admin, that's a 301. So if you have a look on here, basically it's giving you a list of the hits that it's got, and it also gives you the status code next to it. So status code 200 is 200 okay. That means it's accessible, and you can actually look at that. What else we got? 301, which I believe is moved permanently. I can't remember off the top of my head. What you're looking for, guys, anyway, is 200. Anything with 200 means you can have a look at it. So what do we find? Admin.php. Let's have a look at that. It's always interesting. Nibbleblog. Is that on? It's already logged in. So it's save my cookies. I was on this earlier, obviously running through some testing. What it would bring you to is a admin page. And yeah, well, do I log in? What can I do? I mean, we could try some default credentials, admin, password. There's plenty of just default ones you can use, root, admin, nibbles. So I was just playing about with this, and eventually I put admin and nibbles, and it actually let me in. So obviously not a very secure password, but it was guessed as well. Don't save that. I did actually try brute forcing this as well using Hydra, but it was it actually blacklisted me after a few attempts, so that was actually a waste of time. So I was quite lucky. I just guessed the password was Nibbles. I don't know how you would find that out any other way, really, apart from guessing, because you can have a look here. See, login failed, login failed. There's quite a few attempts. I was running Hydra and it was actually smashing through the passwords. But I was blacklisted, so I couldn't get in. So anyway, what we got here? So we got a Nibblblog dashboard. Basically logged in as admin. What can we do? Now we can play around, I suppose. You can maybe put some posts up, manage pages, do something silly. I'll just go back to the home page. Let's have a look here. View page source, see what we got. Nibblblog version.php. We can have a look at the version, which would be handy actually, so we can see if there's any known exploits for Nibblblog. That's not working. Let's have a look. Let's see what other directories we found. Update, install, plugins, admin PHP, sitemap, index. Let's have a look at index.php. See if there's anything on there. Index.php. Just taking you to the home page. Oh, we were logged in. Right, let's go back to that. Admin.php. Let's get back onto there. Okay, so we are admin on this. Not a lot we can do. We can go on the dashboard, view the blog, which is what we can see anyway. What they always say in cyber is Google is your best friend. So the best thing you do, you can have a search for Nibble blog exploits. See if anything comes up. Nibblblog file upload vulnerability, Nibblblog shell upload. Sounds good. Let's upload a shell. Well, let's get a shell call back to ourselves. Okay, let's have a look at these. These can be quite daunting sometimes. There's a lot of information what you need to look at. Okay, it's just telling you about the version, vulnerability type, code execution, and it gives you a description. So what we got. When uploading image files via the My Image plugin, saw that. So that plugins, My Image. Oh, interesting. Which is delivered with Nibblblog by default, keeps the original extension of uploaded files. This extension or the actual file type are not checked. Thus, it is possible to upload a PHP file and gain code execution. Sounds good to us. Okay, so obtain admin credentials. We have that. We actually guessed our way in through a poorly configured password. And it says activate My Image plugin by visiting plugin and upload a PHP shell. Ignore the warnings. And then once that's uploaded, visit this path, and it's a default name of the images uploaded via the plugin. Interesting. Okay, so we need a PHP reverse shell. Luckily, Kali Linux has a few of them inbuilt for us. So what we can do, if you're new to it or you don't know where they're kept, you can do a locate, which is really good at finding files. And we can search maybe PHP. Oh, let's just search reverse shell, maybe reverse shell. Here we go. So we got user share, laudanum, PHP reverse shell. That is interesting. We'll have a look at that. Okay, where are we now? Okay, let me change my folder. We've got a PHP file in there. Okay, so let's find our reverse shell, PHP reverse shell. So what we want to do, we want to copy that to our working folder. So you highlight it, Control-Shift-C. Okay, now you want to copy. Copy command is CP, Control-Shift-V to paste that in, and then add a full stop or a dot at the end. That's basically saying copy that PHP to the current folder. Enter that, and there we are, it's already in there. So what do we do now? Well, we can't just upload it, we need to edit it. to give it our IP address. So Nano is a text editor. Let's have a look in here. Right, loads of rubbish. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that. In Nano, if you want to get rid of something, Control K. It makes it, it cuts it, I think. Right, so what we got here is a PHP script, and it actually tells you what you need to change. So you've got IP and port. Change this, change this. So you change that to our IP and our port. Let's get our IP address. IP add is a command to see your IP address or your network interfaces. So 10.0, that is your VPN connection back to HackTheBox, and we can see our IP address is 10.10.16.168. That. Okay, so change IP address. 10.10.16.168, and the port we want to connect back on. We'll go for 8080, which is the alternative HTTP port. Control X, get out of there. Do you want to save it? Yes, I do. File name to write PHP reverse shell. I'll change the name of it because it just seems very dodgy to have a PHP reverse shell. So if you do the move command, it'll move the file you want. It can move it somewhere else, or you can just move it in the same directory under a different name. So we'll move it, we'll just call it picture.php. Awesome. So we got a picture.php. So it says on the vulnerability, we can upload a PHP shell, ignore the warnings, and then visit that link or that path to actually activate it. So we'll go on to that now. So browse. To upload, you've got our PHP script, which is called picture.php. Open that, save changes. Did say ignore the warnings, that's fine then. Okay, so our image is now uploaded onto the web server. Well, it's not really an image, it's a PHP reverse shell. So we need to visit this link, which will actually render then the PHP script or call the PHP script, and we should get a reverse shell back to us. Still running. I'll cancel that for now. Control L just to clear the screen. Okay. So the tool we want to use to catch our reverse shell is called Netcat NC. Really good networking tool. You could obviously do a lot of videos just on Netcat, but what we're going to be using it for is catching a reverse shell. So a few options you need to give Netcat is -L for listen. We want it to be verbose. We don't want to do any DNS lookups. And the port we want to listen on. So we did tell it to call back to us on 8080, if you remember on the script, PHP script. Hit enter. What it's basically doing then is open the port on your machine. It's waiting to see a connection come back to you. So let's see if our PHP script worked. Just check this over here so we can see it all at the same time. Okay, make sure we got the correct path. I've got a double nibble log in there. Get rid of that. And hit enter. There we go. Shell came straight back. Awesome. So now we've got a reverse shell on the box. It's not the best reverse shell. Don't have any tab auto completion, but that's fine. Let's just see who we are. So command for that, you can see who you are on the machine. It could be root, could be a user, could be www if you're the web user. So we're Nibbler. Okay. Cool. Let's go into Nibbler's home. We got in here. So now we got user.txt and personal. So that's your user flag. Let's cat that. User.txt. Cat stands for concatenate, which is basically saying concatenate this file, which is show me this file. There we are. So you got a MD5 sum of the user.txt. So what you need to do, copy that, Control Shift C, And let me go back to HackTheBox. And what you can do then, you could submit the flags. So once you've captured the flag, as they call it, you can submit flags. So it tells you a submit flag. Put the hash in there. How difficult did you find it? Let's call it 4, 5, submit flag. Brilliant. There we are. Congratulations. Nibbles user is now owned. So we've owned user. But what can we do? Not a lot, probably. We always want to look to escalate privileges onto the machine. Let's go back to where we were. So we're just a user. Not a lot we can normally do. We want to be root. We couldn't change root. Yeah, su root. Just can't switch user to root anyway. One of the first commands I always do when I get onto a machine as a user, sudo -l. And what this tells you whether is any commands can be run as root as your user. So sometimes permissions are given to certain users to run certain programs, certain scripts, certain applications as root because they might need obviously elevated privileges. So just wait for this to come back. It looks like it's hanging on this machine. There we go. Nibbles to resolve host Nibbles. I don't know why it's resolving. DNS. Okay, so if you have a look down here, what it gives you, it says user nibbler, which is who we are, may run the following command on Nibbles, which is the box. Root, so you can be root with no password, like we can run home, nibbler, personal stuff, and the script monitor.sh. Interesting. So we have full control over monitor.sh, or we can run it as root. And let's see if we have control over the script itself. Okay, so we know we can run monitor.sh, so the script monitor.sh as root. So let's have a look at that. So let's go back to our home directory. Home nibbler. We got monitor.sh. So we got home nibbler is where we are. There's a personal zip folder, stuff monitor.sh. So that actual path or file doesn't exist yet. Let's unzip that zip file and see what's in there. So command for unzipping, awesome on Linux, just type in unzip, personal.zip. Right, so there we go. So that's actually unzip that file for us. We can change directory into personal. And it's going to be stuff, is it? Yeah, change directory to stuff and list that. We got monitor.sh. So let's just have a look at that. Cat monitor.sh. What's in there? La la la. So it's a monitoring script from TechMint. We can follow that link if you want to have a look at it. Put my glasses back on because I can't see. Okay, so it's just running through a lot of checks. It's doing a ping to google.com. It's telling you if it's connected to the internet, I'm guessing. Yeah, internet connected. Yeah. Check the OS type, uname-o. Okay, so it's just running through a load of commands. Right, cool. So we got monitor.sh. It's doing ls for list, which basically lists the folders or the files in the folder. Or you can do ls.la or AR, whichever way you want to do it. Gives you a bit more information about what's in the folder. So if you have a look at there, so that's the directories, and this is the file. So you can see we got read-write access for root, the owner, everybody else. So anyone and everyone can monitor this. Good. So what we're going to do, we want to change that script. We want to run that script as root and get ourselves a reverse shell as root. So then we can own the box. The first things what I'm going to do is remove that script. Remove monitor.sh. Cool. So that's gone. What we can do then is put our own monitor.sh file and script inside it. So how do we do that, I hear you ask? Okay. So we want to call a netcat reverse shell from the Nibbles box in the script as monitor.sh, which will run as root and then call back to us and we'll be the root user. So best thing to do, search pentest monkey netcat reverse shell. You want a reverse shell. And pentest monkey is just a website where somebody has put a load of reverse shells on there for us, which we can use. And these are used quite often and they do actually work really well. So what we're going to use is this one, netcat. got a simple one there, but if you don't know the version or anything like that, you might still be able to get your reverse shell back like this. This is one you should just use if that one isn't working, and this one does normally work. So we're going to copy this, Control and C, close this back down, right, close that one down as well. Okay, so we want to Control Shift B. Okay, so what here, this is the command, so it starts here at RM and it goes down to /tempf. What we need to change is the IP address and the port here. So we'll change the port, we'll get it to call back to us on 8443, which is the alternative HTTPS port, and our IP address, which was 10.10.16.168. Let's check that again, because I always forget my IP address. There you go, you. Let's close that down. Okay, Control Shift T brings up another tab, IP add 10.10.16.168. Control Shift W closes a tab down. Quite handy to know these shortcuts. Okay, so that's the command we got. Echo RM, remove temp, make it FIFO, so it's making a name pipe. Don't worry about this command if you don't understand it. But this is the command we're going to use. So I'm going to put these in quotation marks, if I can find a quotation mark. Okay, so I put echo there as well, because we're just basically telling the command line to echo or output this command. So what we're going to do then, we're going to redirect that into a file called monitor.sh. So now we've got our own file called monitor.sh. Cat that. Okay, so that's the file, and it's going to do a netcat reverse shell to our IP address on that port. Okay, we just need to get this information onto the box now, onto the box we're trying to own. Okay, so this is our PHP reverse shell that we've got. And what I'm probably going to do, actually, I'm just going to copy and paste, because we could set up bear with me a second, Control Shift C. I could set up a Python server. Actually, let's just do that. Python free -m http.server, and we're going to fire it up on port 1386. Okay, what I've done there, so inbuilt into most Linux distributions is Python, and Python 3 is the newest version. -m will basically telling it to make a HTTP server on port 1386. Really easy, really good to use that tool. Okay, so we've got a web server on our machine, and it's listening on port 1386. Go back to our Nibbles machine. And what we could do, actually, we could just do a wget. Is it installed? Yes, wget is installed. HTTP 10.10.16.168, which is our IP address. The port we're listening on, 1386, and the name of the file we want to grab, which was monitor.sh. Awesome. So now we've got, let's cat that. Cat monitor, spell monitor.sh. Cool, so we've got our reverse shell. So we can run that script as root without a password. So what will happen then, root will run this script, and what root will do is do a netcat reverse shell. So we need to do another listener. Let's close down our Python HTTP server, and we'll do a netcat nc.lvmp, and it's calling back to us on port 8443. So we'll just do 8443. Now that's listening on there. Okay, we're back to it. Sorry, right. Let's try that again. Sudo paste. So like we said before, we can run sudo home nibbler personal stuff and the script monitor.sh. So we changed that to an executable now as well. Hit enter on that, and hopefully it should come back to us. Very slow, this box. Give it a couple of seconds. Hopefully. There we are, just dropped in. Awesome. So I think it was working actually. I was being impatient last time. Unable to resolve host connection timed out. Okay, fair enough, but it actually didn't. So we've got a shell back to us on the box. Okay, we just do who am I? Find out who you are. We are root. Awesome. So now we can go into the root folder. No, not that one. Root. Sorry guys, I'm being ridiculous here. ls. Now we can see the root.txt, which is the next flag, or the last flag that we need to grab. So md5 sum of the flag, copy this, and go over to HackTheBox, Nibbles, submit a flag, paste it in. How hard was that? Not too bad. Nibbles root, yes, because I already put the flag in previously. But there we go. So that is Nibbles. Thank you.